I've just bought the cheapest 911 GT3 in the world. Today, we're gonna try and rebuild it in 24 hours. The GT3 is a car that I've already bought, rebuilt, but sold, as it was way too expensive to bring back to the UK. But oh, did I love that car. Wow. So when the opportunity came up in the UK to get another one, but this time even cheaper, I was all over it. Oh, more bonus time.
Come on.
Sold. Yes! Oh no! Sold on approval.
What does that mean?
Didn't meet reserve. Oh. Luckily for me, the sale was approved. It is Porsche day. And what a day for it. Right, apparently it runs and drives. If it can... If it runs and drives onto this trailer, then it's a great start. I think we might be able to repair this in 24 hours.
Yeah, look at my jacket. Oh, you can see me from a mile off. Oh.
Oh my.
A 2022 Porsche 992 GT3. And it still looks incredible as ever, even though it is crashed. And on my first impressions, it didn't look that bad. But the truth will be told. I don't know why there's no back.
Where's that gone?
Yeah, I don't know why there's no back.
That's expensive.
Yeah, that is expensive.
Was it 10 grand for a bonnet?
11,000.
11?
Oh, look at it.
Oh no.
The back.
Oh.
See this bit here?
Oh yeah. Ooh.
Oh, there's a bit of perishment going on here.
Oh no.
Oh, it's so good. So good. Now, unfortunately, but also fortunately at the same time, this is an automatic. It's PDK, which is probably one of the best gearboxes you can get, bar the manual gearbox. I've got nose lift on this one.
Oh, it's like supercar.
It's only done 4,000 miles. It's a full grey and black interior. Comes with the roll cage. The seats are good, and there's not one single airbag deployed in here, which should mean that it starts up. What? Although we do have an airbag light. So some positives and some negatives, as always when buying crash damaged cars. But I wanted to challenge myself to rebuild this car in 24 hours, as I was desperate to drive it.
Oh, has he curbed the wheel? Well, it's a good job that this wheel is actually damaged.
But the more we looked at it, the more damage we found. It needs a front subframe.
What?
Yeah, look. See here. From the outside, the car only looks like it's been in a small accident. But then again, it takes a lot to write off a £200,000 car. But it's too late to turn back now. I'm excited to start this thing, and we've got a cheeky little head start. From our walk round at Copart, I've already rang Porsche and ordered a few parts, which are here already. My dad is gonna go and get them now, but in the meantime, we've got some stuff to do. We might as well, yeah, let's get in there and then we'll explain it. Come on.
Off we go to Silverstone.
Oh, so you know where you're going
With
then?
some...
Sweet. 24 hours starts from now. Let's do it. Now, we're not going to be starting to repair the car as you might think straight away. And that's because we don't even have the tool to take the wheels off yet. We're hoping that's something my dad comes back with. That's how you do it. For now, I'm taking the door card off so I can get to the wing mirror bolt to take the wing mirror off. You'll see why in a second. Yes!
Yeah.
Now I've got the bolt out, I can pull the wing mirror away from the door with the wiring. And yes, the 24 hours has started, but I will be pausing the clock when we go home to sleep.
How light is that? Oh, he's got carbon in his hand.
They've had the front end PPF. I don't know if you see, look, you can just see the edging of the PPF. Didn't really protect much though, but this is well light. This is ridiculously light.
That's 11 grand.
It was 11 grand. 28 minutes. We've got the bonnet off, we've got the wing mirror off. I think we're doing alright. And this is a part which is probably going to confuse a few people because I'm about to modify it before repairing it. We won't be able to paint the car in 24 hours. I'm keeping this car for myself. And yes, we are wrapping it. We're going to make this stealth. This is going to look crazy. I'm already getting shots fired in the comments. I can feel it already. Save yourself till it's finished, trust me. As you already know, I'm building this car for myself and I'm not going to sell it. I've already made that mistake and this is the colour I want it.
That's a nice jump you have there, Leon.
It's brand new second hand, this one.
I'm not only going to be rebuilding the car, I'm also going to be wrapping it satin black. So it should be completely transformed by the end of this.
1 hour. It's gone already.
We're making great progress.
How are you doing?
We've rebuilt nothing yet. That's the issue with wrapping. It's very time consuming and on time that we didn't really have. But it is much quicker than paint. The thing is, the more help we had, the better.
Hello.
How are you?
You brought back up.
Yeah, I'm just here to do all the hard work because couldn't do it on your own, obviously.
So now it's me, Liam, Chris and cameraman Matt working away at the car whilst my daddy's away getting the parts.
Here we are right at the back end of the vehicle and we're going to remove the spoiler, and Matt reckons it's this size and he's right. So we've got 2 bolts here, 2 down, 2 to go.
Oh, it's Velcroed on.
What?
Velcro. Yeah, I used to have them on my shoes when I was like 30.
You mean the light up ones?
Hopefully, we can get a carbon one. If not, it's going to be difficult to wrap, so I'm nominating Chris to wrap it. And just as I was finishing off the rear quarter, my dad come back from his trip.
We've got 22 hours left.
Oh yeah, there is a van full of parts. So Tony's just arrived with all the parts and he's left some of them at Silverstone. Wheelmen are on the way now to get the wheels, so hopefully in the back of this van we've got a wheel, otherwise we've got a big problem.
Yeah, there's a lot of parts here, but as Matt mentioned, we noticed when we picked up the car there was damage to the front left wheel, which definitely wasn't repairable. So I've ordered a new wheel from Porsche. We're just hoping that my dad actually picked it up.
Hopefully this is a wheel. Please be a wheel. Oh no.
Let's have a look.
It looks quite light for a wheel.
It's a wheel.
Yeah!
And here's the moment of truth, finding out whether it's the correct wheel.
Yeah, that looks good.
It is good.
Is it magnesium?
Oh my god! Wow, that's well light. £2,500 for this.
Wow.
And my dad even picked up the big torque wrench you need for getting off these centre lock wheels. So now we can actually start removing the wheels and begin repairing the car. But I've just got to finish off this rear quarter. And once that's done, we can lower it down to get the wheels off.
This is what I mean.
Oh, that was easy.
I'm just strong, I'll make it look easy.
Yes, well done, Chris. 1 down, 3 to go. Watch me rear quarter, lad.
It's Tony's turn, isn't it?
Come on, Tony.
Oh,
Come on, man.
can't do it.
Come on, man. You're getting his feet off the floor. So he was
I
taking,
thought you go to the gym.
he was taking the mick out of me.
He was taking the mick out of you.
I can't get it off.
Shall I have a go? This one could be the tightest.
This is definitely the tightest. I loosened it.
How embarrassing.
Now with the centre lock wheels undone, we can remove them and start to assess the damages. And I noticed it had rear wheel steering, apparently to help cornering at high speeds. That'd be weird for donuts. And any place Porsche could weight save, they weight saved. Even drilling holes in the back of the wheels. Now I was on to investigating why there was no coolant in the car. And it's pretty obvious to see. There was a huge dent in the front radiator. So that's definitely going to need to be changed. So me and Leon went back onto wrapping the driver's side door, whilst my dad...
Right, Matthew. I'm going to be cracking on taking the radiator off.
Why are we taking the radiator off?
Because it's bent.
Why are you looking at me?
Now you'll notice there are a lot of parts here, and they're all brand new from Porsche. Because if you try and search for any 992 GT3 parts on eBay or anywhere else, they're next to impossible to find. I'm guessing because the car's so new, and there's just not many of them on the road. Right now, my dad's checking the radiator, and just as we thought, it definitely needs replacing.
Yeah, that's pretty bent.
Just needs standing on, doesn't it?
Go on then.
Standing back.
Meanwhile, me and Liam are making progress on the driver's side door. And speaking of doors, we had a knock on the unit door.
The man behind the door is... Hey, Wheelmania!
Wheelmania comes to take the wheels. They're going to come back, completely different colour, and look a lot better.
What colour?
We'll find out.
21 hours, 4 minutes and 42
That's how long you've got.
Oh, has it already started?
Yeah.
What do you mean if we already started? Look at it!
I didn't even look.
Right, we'll see you in less than 21 hours and 4 minutes, please.
Perfect.
That end wrap is on, and I think it's looking banging. It's like, you can really see the shape of the car now, and with the yellow calipers, it looks really good. And we're actually starting to fix stuff now, because Dad's over on the front with Chris. Me and Liam smashed this out. So, I think we're on track. It's starting to look really good. But remember, all that wrapping I did on the right side, I've got to do it on the left side as well.
Wing. It's on the car, we want it off the car because damage. It's damaged, so it needs to come off. So Armstrong's got to come out first.
Finally, it feels like we're getting somewhere. All of us are working away at our own corner, and Chris is working away at getting the front wing off. Luckily, the arch lining is still in one piece, so we can reuse that. But the front wing does have some damage, and so does the headlight, which is going to be expensive. And we're going to have to work out why it has a lot of missing parts on the rear end later in the video, because that's going to be so expensive to replace. Right now, we're concentrating on the front.
Normally it goes through the front, but that's bent, so it's hard to get through.
Yeah. Yes!
Well done, mate.
So these headlights get stolen quite a lot, and they don't actually get stolen for the headlight, believe it or not, even though they're $2.5 grand, I think they're around that, or $3 grand, can't remember. But they only get stolen for these things here, because apparently people use them to grow illegal drugs because it doesn't emit as much electricity. No way, that's so dumb. No, that is so dumb. That is not real.
Wait, no, we can just unbolt this bracket, surely.
No, it's riveted.
There's no way that they're
Look,
that
that
stupid.
bracket's riveted.
You're telling me you have to disconnect the aircon, lose all your gas to take a wing off. Professionals have been in and let the aircon gas out, so the good news now is that we can disconnect these aircon lines to get the wing off. So, here we go, off it comes. One wing off.
One wing off.
We also need this.
That's why I looked after it.
Well done. Okay.
No worries.
Meanwhile, back at the front left side of the car, my dad's starting to reassemble the radiators. The front rad and most of the parts on this Porsche are built up with loads of parts. And apparently this is to do with insurance purposes. If you have an accident and you only damage one part of the radiator, then you only have to have one part replaced, which would make cheaper labour, cheaper insurance, and cheaper on the parts. It kind of makes sense, but does make it very fiddly when rebuilding stuff like this back up. We have the fan shroud on the back of the rad, these little rubber grommets which sit on the radiator, and then the plastic brackets which hold the fan shroud to the radiator. Then you've got the two main hoses which lead to the radiator to connect onto it. There's this little plastic line which connects to the top of the rad. Then after that, we're working on the aircon radiator. The one on the car didn't leak any gas, but it did look a bit bent. So we're going to be more safe than sorry and replace it with a brand new one anyway. This has a plastic bracket which it clips into, and then you can push it onto the radiator and bolt it in. There's two aircon lines which connect to it, one on the top and one on the bottom. And these are bolted in because they hold such high pressure gas. And that's the front left radiator almost complete. Just need to add this plastic shrouding over it, which guides the air into it and keeps it nice and cool. The wing mirrors are going to be difficult to wrap. They're grey wing mirrors, and we've got carbon ones to go on so I don't have to wrap them. And with the carbon mirrors, we've also got these little carbon bits to match the carbon roof. It's going to look brilliant. It's literally one bolt. It was literally one bolt, and there it is at the back. So Chris got onto it with unscrewing that one bolt. There it is. And then he could lift the little plastic trim out of its place and replace it with the new carbon one. It's these little details that are going to completely transform this car, especially matching that carbon roof.
Oh, that looks sick.
And it only took me 4 seconds. That is a nice box. Matt, it's coming the right colour, we ain't even got to wrap it.
Look at that.
Matt, I wouldn't even bother, mate.
Yeah, don't bother.
As the body panels started to show up, we all grouped together to wrap them all. Me and Liam doing the passenger side door as we did on the other side, and Chris, my dad, and Matt the cameraman doing the front wing. And this is a pretty cool moment where all of us are working together to build a pretty cool car. And I guess not much has changed over the years. I'm still building cars, but it's gone from wet restaurant car parks to my own unit and some pretty expensive cars. But I guess that's what happens when you persist on chasing your dreams. Right, 17 hours remaining, and that bonnet, the carbon fibre bonnet, was £11,000, and the lads have just said, wouldn't it be cool if you had an exposed carbon fibre bonnet?
Liam, don't you think it'd be cool if it had a carbon fibre bonnet?
Oh yeah, it'd be absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
We're thinking there is a possibility this could be exposed carbon fibre because it's not going to be painted.
Oh yeah, then we could just PPF it.
Should we see?
Oh.
Oh, what is it? Oh, it's white. It's white! Oh no!
That's going to be
worst
horrible
colour
because
to
you're
wrap.
going to open the boot and you're going to see white.
No, because normally it's exposed carbon underneath.
Let's see.
Green coat. Oh no, it's taped up.
Oh, it is
Oh,
carbon.
they've painted, they've primed it.
That is carbon, yeah.
It's carbon.
Look, it's carbon, you said.
Carbon.
Yeah,
Yeah.
look, carbon fibre.
If that was
If
the top,
they didn't spend the time primering it, it would have been well cool.
Sand it off.
I feel like they do it on purpose just to scam you out.
Sand it
Yeah,
off.
they probably charge you more to not primer it. Look, it would have been like dry carbon if they didn't paint it.
It's the plastic bit, isn't it?
Oh yeah, because it's plastic reinforced carbon.
Or carbon
the first
reinforced plastic.
Production car ever to have plastic reinforced carbon on.
so does that mean it's just got carbon underneath?
It's just got carbon underneath and it's
Oh,
plastic
you
on
got
the
scam
top.
then.
Yeah, it's a bit of a con really. They could just sell you a carbon fibre one, that'd be
Do you
cool.
want to write them a letter?
Yeah, I'm going to complain.
With time still ticking away, we've still got a lot to do. Even just wrapping this rear bumper took hours. You can see the time ticking down here. As it's such an awkward shape, it's impossible to do it in one piece of wrap. But then we was revisited by Wheelmania.
The rear. Oh, they look sick.
With some freshly refurbed wheels.
That is the damage to the old wheel.
That one.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, it's bent and everything, isn't it? Yeah. Wow. Wheelmania have delivered the wheels. We've gone for a champagne colour, the same as a Lamborghini Huracan Performante. Saturn, of course. These are 20-inch on the front and on the back, 21-inch. And the stock wheels are pretty good, to be fair. Like, they're really light. And Wheelmania have not painted the centres, so we know that the lock-in will lock into it and not take off any of the paint. Now, we've got to get these wheels on because we've got damage to the subframe. So we're going to get them off the ramp here and put it on the ramp there, so we can have a look at the damage on the subframe and change it over. So these wheels have got to go on to do that. So let's get to it. These wheels are looking incredible. Whilst they're putting the wheels on, I'm going to sort out food. We don't really have much time to go get anything, so of course, it's food time. This is perfect for the 24-hour challenge. I'm perfect for people who are on the go like us. Inside one of these drinks, there's 26 vitamins and minerals. It's high in fibre, high in protein, it's lactose-free, it's gluten-free, and there's no added sugar. This is a flavour I've not actually tried before. Fudge brownie. What these actually are a milkshake which replaces a meal. It's not a diet drink, it's not a protein shake. It simply just replaces a meal throughout the day. We've missed breakfast and dinner at the minute, so yeah, it's good, that one. I think the champagne colour is matching so nicely with the satin black. And of course, we've got a brand new tyre on the front. There's 500 calories in one bottle, so it's sure to keep you full for your next meal. So whether you have it for breakfast, lunch, or dinner, or all three, it'll keep you going throughout the day. And obviously, there's enough in there to give you what your body needs. Not only that, they do vegan options. The bottle's 100% recyclable, so you can be sure we're keeping the earth clean with our naturally aspirated 4-litre engine. Now these wheels have a special tightening sequence, which I'm about to show you. You tighten it up to 100 Newton meters, and then you mark exactly where that 100 Newton meters is, which is there. And then when I tighten it up further, where it says stop, that is the maximum torque load. So as I turn it here, so between here and here should be around 400 Newton meters, which is what it should be torqued to. And we've got a torque wrench which goes up to 450 Newton meters, so we don't need to do the marking, but it's just an example.
Yeah!
Bang on!
Bang on! Crazy!
Look at that.
It's almost like Porsche thought of that. We're in. Now, to grab a Y food, you can do with the link in the description box below. So if you're thinking about getting healthier and perhaps saving money because you buy so much fast food at your lunchtime, you can do. Find your favorite flavor with the link in the description box below and use this discount code, which is appearing underneath me now, for a nice bit of discount as well. Thank me later. Let's get his subframe off. So along with some of the damage on here, which we'll get to eventually, which may take us quite long, we noticed that there was damage on the subframe when we was taking it back from Copart. We're about to find out how bad that damage is. We're hoping not too bad. It didn't look as bad as the purple one. I think we can do it. I think we can do it. The bronze wheels though, with the satin black, is looking so sweet. How bad is it? Tub. Oh look, that's where they've had a, what would you say that is? Mud. That's gone into something, isn't it? Everything under here looks okay, and this is the damage. Do you think, so the subframe is in 2 pieces. We've ordered one, let me get it. So the subframe, we had to replace this on the other GT3, but it comes in 2 pieces, and you can only order it in 1 piece. It's just this aluminium piece here, which bolts to this aluminium piece here. To change this, it's more of a job. To change that, it should be easier. The plan of action is to unbolt this. We'll see if there's any damage to that bit underneath. Let's hope the rest of the subframe underneath this paneling is all good, as it should save us a lot of time.
That looks good.
It does look good, there's not a scratch on it. Porsche techs might be like, oh, just replace the whole thing. But I really don't think we need to. Hey! There is not a scratch on that.
Oh, good.
Not a single scratch on it. This is going to be a quick replacement, and we've got 11 hours, 59 minutes to go. Now my dad's going to separate that front part of the subframe away from the rear part of the subframe, and then we can begin to switch it over for this damaged one. So upon further inspection, there's why on earth have they taken an under tray off here? The whole thing should have an under tray on.
Look, it goes onto the. Oh, look, it's broke. Look, it's broke. That's why.
Yeah. So there's the whole underneath of the car needs an under tray.
Yeah, look, but they're all bent.
Now also some people would comment and say that the insurance have declared this as a write-off, to say that it's not worth repairing, which they have to take in loads of things into consideration when repairing a car like this into the cost. One, they have to buy everything new, yes, which we've done anyway, but they also have to take into consideration the hire car for the person who owned this car before, which they have to give them a similar car whilst this car's being repaired, which is going to cost a lot, especially if they're having to wait for parts, because it could be a long hire of the car as well, and it's going to have to be similar to a GT3. So, and also they'd have to repair everything like for like. So something like this Like for me, I'd get rid of it. I'm not even bothered about that. But the insurance would have to do it as good as new. So all of that would add up. What I think's happened to this car is that it's been crashed and then taken to an insurance repair centre, and they've stripped off most of the damaged parts to do a quote for the insurance. After they've given the quote, they've wrote off the car and it's gone to Copart. But all the old parts have just been left at the body shop, hence no rear end. I actually think there'll be a body shop out there somewhere which has got a lot of the parts of this GT3 laying around.
What would you do without plastic?
Let me see your built-up wing.
Big moment.
That. And this one also did as well. There you go. That's how it went. Silly.
Do you know what is silly? We've got 11 hours left and the car still looks like this.
We better get a move on. My dad's now fitting the driver's side wing and me and Liam are wrapping the passenger side wing, even though it is satin black. And with both of the wings on, or fenders if you're American, we can now push the bumper in place without any of the trims on, so it's now easy for us to wrap. With the bumper clipped in, we can actually pull the wrap against something, whereas a lot of people think you would wrap the bumper off the car. It's actually a lot harder unless you got the bumper pinned down to something. And let's not forget the time ticking down in the background. Old headlight. Now, you can buy the headlights separately from Porsche, of course, but they don't come with all this stuff on. And inside the headlight, there's fans and actuators. And we actually missed this out on the Porsche, the purple Porsche. So Freddie, if you're watching, you need to go back and do this on the headlight and get the fans out of the old headlight and put them in here, because apparently there's some fans in here that we need to switch over. There's the fan. And what does that do? Just cool the
Cool the light.
There's actually two fans. This is one, and the other one looks like a little turbo here. Now somehow we've managed to rope Dom in. He was only meant to be dropping off a few parts for us, but he wanted to get his hands dirty. So who better than someone who actually works at Porsche?
I'm taking this off because it's perished.
Oh, that is perished.
Yeah, it's perished. Okay.
So it looks like there was damage to the rear, and it kind of backs up my insurance theory. If there's damage to that plastic bracket, then there was likely to be damage to the bumper. So the insurance body shop had probably taken off the bumper to have a look at the damage underneath, and to take off the rear bumper, they've got to remove all the rear lights and the ducktail spoiler as well, which again, explains why I don't have it. So we're just building the bumper up, which consists of so many different parts. There's like plastic on the back. There's this plastic bit which holds the grille. There's this plastic bit which holds the daytime running lights. There's like shrouds, there's everything, and we're all clipping it all together. But we're missing one part, and that is this little centerpiece here, which is the grille. So we're not going to get it in the time, I don't think. So we're going to have to put it together without the grille, make it look as good as it can get. We've also got splitters to put on and everything. A lot of this bumper is really light and in a million pieces, but Liam's working on it right now.
It's so hard.
It's so hard. They go in here.
Front or back?
They've got a special location. Yeah, like that. That's it. And then you want to put your rivets in.
I need a rivet gun.
I'll go get you a rivet gun.
Yeah?
Yeah. Boom. Wow, legit. That is called OM, aka OEM. Whilst we were putting the front bumper together, Dom and my dad started assembling the rear. And as you can see, the rear bumper goes on first, then all of the lights. Full bumper is done apart from the grille. How's it looking? Because I can't see it. Does it look good?
It looks amazing.
We've then got to take off the wing again to fit something pretty important. Everyone always asks, how do we organise all the stuff of putting all the cars together? Now you know. Now you know. It is literally carnage. I don't know whether you call this organising or just throwing on the floor. It makes it more fun. It's like find the parcel. Now one thing we are going to change is the bonnet hinges. Any time a car's had a smash and it's got bonnet damaged, it's likely that you put a new bonnet on and you can never get it to line up, and it's usually down to these things. So we're not taking any risks. These are going on like that. These are the little things that do take up that precious time, but these could be vital in getting the panels lined up. There's a crash sensor in the wing. This little thing is a crash sensor, and when this detects a hit, it'll send a signal through the airbag system to deploy an airbag, but it's not deployed an airbag. The crash sensor locates just behind the headlight, and I imagine in the crash it wasn't hit hard enough to deploy any airbags. But it would have been handy to have all the broken parts, because as you imagine, we've not only had to order the parts, we've had to order the bolts to hold them all in as well.
That's lined up, that's lined up, that's lined up, that's lined up.
Now we're on to lining all the panels up. Again, this could be really time consuming, but we're just trying to get it as best as possible for now. Yeah, once you put those bolts in, that should do it, you know. It's going to go into, you might want to go underneath. There we go.
That was a nice click.
This airbag thing, one of these is for the indicator. They run like that. And this one comes to that daytime running line. 4 hours, 42 minutes remaining. Time to assemble the rest of the front wing. In goes the washer bottle with 2 electrical sensors, one for the motor and one for a level sensor, I believe. That just pushes in behind the wing, and then there's only one bolt which holds it in place. Of course, to fill up the washer bottle, you need a filler neck. All parts you need to buy separately. We'll get onto the cost of everything at the end of the video, but as you can imagine, it's adding up. And now to cover all of that over, the arch lining goes in, which Liam's doing now, and I'm just putting in the bolts. Then the side indicators, which sit on the bottom of both wings. And finally, we can clip in the kind of complete bumper. It's just missing the grille on the bottom, which somehow we forgot to order. But this was bound to happen when we was ordering so many parts. So the bolts that hold the bumper in have little, we call them hats. And it's got a little ridge there to stop you from squashing the bumper when you're tightening it. So they go in. There. If you say hit the light button, it lights up.
And if I say subscribe, does that light up?
Don't know, let's try it. Everybody hit that subscribe button, because we have worked so hard, and how long we got? 3 hours, 53 minutes to go, and we've still got a bonnet to wrap, and the ducktail, and a lot of more stuff. 11 grand bonnet. Oh, which way do these go?
Does anything?
Oh, look, look.
It's got an arrow.
What does decal mean?
Means down.
Down? So you
Starts
say
with a
that?
D.
Or does it mean up? What? Decal? That either means up or down. Matt's saying down.
Because it starts with D.
Yeah, I like that theory. Hey Siri, translate decal into English. Lid. It's not even up or down. Lid.
That's bonnet then.
So that's up. But
We've got this to go.
we've got to. It is up.
Ah.
Yeah. Up.
You never would have thought that.
Because are they Germans calling the bonnet a lid?
A lid, yeah.
Lid.
I like that. Should we call it a lid from now on?
And how do Germans talk?
Lid! So we've installed the hydraulic struts to the hinges, and now we can unbox the lid. This lid is incredibly light. As I mentioned, it's plastic reinforced carbon, I believe. We managed to get lucky on the purple Porsche that it only had a small scrape on it, and that's the reason I knew it was 11 grand. But we didn't get lucky this time, and we had to replace it. And now that we've installed it, we've got to wrap it. And with our first instalment, I don't think we've done too bad on the panel gaps. But again, all of this can be adjusted at the end of the build. Out comes the wrap.
This is the old mirror, which I've got to take to pieces without breaking it to fit. Wow. The only problem is, I don't think that one's fitting that one, is it?
No, that looks like the wrong side. Well done.
Look at that.
Oh look, I can see myself. Hello, viewers.
Oh no, you can fast forward through that bit. Oh yes. Dun, dun. Show me a clip that's broke, because there ain't one. You didn't believe me, did you? Untrusting you are. Yes, I know. No tongues.
Stab it in.
What, just through the wrap? Wow, that looks good. Shame it's a Porsche.
And it's got a little scratch on
Whoa.
it, but that's for memory.
Whoa.
Whoa.
What did you just say?
I don't know. Maybe Hannah will grow to like Porsches. It could be an age thing. It did take me a while, but once I'd driven one of these things, there's no turning back. And just look how nice it looks already. But we've still got a long way to go. My dad's put the carbon mirror caps on, and it's time for a time update. 1 hour 57 minutes left. I've still got a ducktail to wrap. My dad's putting the wing on. I've still got to wrap this because we can't get the carbon one just yet. It's not looking good. For some reason, me and Liam left one of the hardest parts to wrap last, the ducktail spoiler. So whilst I was doing that, my dad was installing the new carbon fibre mirrors into the doors, and then he could assemble the door card back together.
Don't drop the bolt in there.
45 minutes remaining, and me and Liam have just found out that not only have we got to wrap this ducktail spoiler, it has air intakes in there, which we've got to assemble as well. That's because the air's meant to flow across the top of the roof, down the back of the window, and sort of underneath this spoiler straight into the air filters and into the engine at the back of the car. It is like a giant Lego piece we're building up now. So many components in such little parts. My dad managed to find the bolt that he dropped down the door card, which he can use to bolt in the wing mirror, and then after that, put the door card back together. Then he moves on to the back of the car, putting in the rear lights. There's 3 of them, one on the right, one on the left, and then the huge light bar which goes in the middle. "20 minutes remaining now. This is getting close.
Quick, how many minutes we got left?
Literally 20 minutes.
The wheels are now going back on, hopefully for good this time, but I will mention we are still missing some parts for the front bumper, and I'm just lining up the duck build to make sure it all fits nicely. It's time for coolant. Remember, we've got to vacuum fill this cooling system, and it is a nightmare. This means blowing compressed air across this vacuum filler, which should suck all the air out of the cooling system in the car. And if the vacuum holds, it shows we've got no leaks. Then we have our fresh Valvoline coolant that we're going to put in the Porsche. Of course, with me being a Valvoline partner now, all the fluids that we put into my car will be Valvoline. With the vacuum pulled in the cooling system, we can put the tube into the Valvoline coolant tub, open the tap, and it should suck all of the coolant into the system, hopefully with no air bubbles. I think it was around 8 litres later, and it was full. I can now install the duckbill spoiler for good, and you can see where the air goes in here. There's a few final trim pieces to put on the back, and then move into the front to put the headlights in. And that was time. 24 hours. We were so close. But just take a look how amazing it looks, even in this unfinished state. A lot better than 24 hours prior to this. Oh, we were so close. But maybe I was a bit ambitious. But I don't feel like I've failed, not one bit, because, well, I've got a fully stealthed out 2022 GT3 with only 4,000 miles on the clock. It looks so good, even in this unfinished state. Yes, there's grills missing at the bottom. Yes, there's no wing at the back at the minute. We're kind of repping the touring look because I'm hoping to get a Manti carbon winged, which will match the carbon roof and the wing mirrors, and that will save me also wrapping the back. But I could never sell this car. This car, I feel like, was made for me. But unfortunately, I cannot drive it yet. It is not complete. But remember, at the start of the video, there was a little bit of damage. It's not structural because it is classed as a category N, a non-structural damage. But this is kind of part of the chassis. It's really flimsy metal, I know, because I bought this part for the purple GT3. There's a dent in it here, and this is all kind of like, it's a bit creased up, but I don't think it's enough for me to replace it. I'm pretty sure when the body shop reopens after the holidays, they should be able to pull this dent out. It's not affected any of the bolts lining up. They all do still line up in perfect place, and the bonnet still kind of, it's got a half decent gap. So I think we can get that done afterwards, along with a lot of the other parts. But I'm guessing you guys want to know how much I paid for it and how much it's cost me to get to this point. I won this GT3 for £98,700, and I've spent £40,791 repairing it, which makes the total spend this. Now that makes it a lot cheaper than what it would be to buy the same spec GT3 in the UK, but of course it's going to be cheaper. It's crash damaged, it's a category N car, and I still have some parts that I've got to buy for it. I guess that leaves it up to you guys. Was it worth it or not? But for now, thanks so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up button, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace out. Oh God!